Wanna know what it is, make the boys want more. All the girls on the block knocking at my door. Wanna know what it is, make the boys want more. Take a sip on the secret potion, I'll make you fall in love. First step can't be broken, one drop should be enough. Throw you back to me, I got
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be doing a makeup tutorial, and in this makeup tutorial we're going to be using the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Self-Made palette. I personally have to have everything that she comes out with, meaning like palettes, just because the quality of the eyeshadows are just so amazing. So I went ahead and got this one. This one I believe was $35 just because there's 2 extra shadows. Usually her palettes, this one is the Shadow Couture that came out in the summer. Usually her palettes are $30, but as you can see, it's a little bit longer, so there's 2 more shadows as opposed to just having 12. This one has 12 and this one has 14. So the shadows in this palette, there's not a lot of matte shades in this palette at all. There's a ton of kind of satin and shimmery shades. The only 2 that are matte is Hot Chocolate and Buttery, and then everything else has that kind of shimmer and sparkle. And as you guys can see, I used Ilsa today. It is gorgeous. I love anything mint green. I should have painted my nails mint green. I just bought a polish, but you know, we're not going to get on that. But I love this color Ilsa. It's just so pretty, and it just kind of stands out. I'm also going to be doing another tutorial with Spirit Rock just because it's just such a different color. It's like that dark purple with sparkle in it, like purple sparkles. So I'll do deep purple and Spirit Rock in the next tutorial, but I kind of wanted to do something a little bit colorful because everybody's doing those warm and toasty kind of fall colors, so I just wanted to do something different. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love this palette. This is perfect for just lid colors all over, just putting colors all over your lids, and then if you have other matte shades, you can of course use those in the crease. And then I also use a new NYX Suede liquid lipstick for my lips. I use the shade Soft Spoken, and I love this. I won't say I love this, I meant to say I like this. I haven't gotten to wear it long enough to see the longevity and everything like that, so I will keep you guys posted on probably my Snapchat. So that's Lon Yeezy. I will leave that link down below like I always do. So I'll let you guys know how I feel about this. This is the second one that I have. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. I love you guys so much. Leave me a comment on what you would like to see next, and I'll see you guys soon. Mwah. Bye! Alright you guys, so like always in priming my lids, and today I am using the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the original formula. Then I'm going to go into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Shadow Couture palette, and I'm going to take Morocco on a Sigma E40 blending brush, and I'm working that into my crease as a transition shade just to add a little bit more warmth to the look. Then I'm going to go into the Self-Made palette, and I'm taking Hot Chocolate on a Sigma E25 blending brush. This is a warm, kind of like dark chestnut-y brown. It's not super dark, but it's dark to the point where it adds just the right amount of definition to my crease. So I'm applying that right into the crease bone, packing that out into the outer V, and working it in windshield wiper motions. Then like always, I go back in with the previous brush and just use that to diffuse the 2 shades together. So then I'm going to go back into the Shadow Couture palette, and I'm taking Noir, which is just a matte black eyeshadow. It's a really dark matte black eyeshadow, and I'm packing that out into the outer V with a really small defined crease brush. And then I'm going to go right back in with a little bit more Hot Chocolate on a Sigma E25 blending brush once again. So like I always say, you go and build in the shadow, and then you go back in with the previous brush and just blend it out, so you continue to go between the brushes that you're using and just buff and blend those shades together. So now I'm taking my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, and I'm using that as an eyeshadow base for the green shade that we're going to apply on our lids, just to make the color appear a little bit more vibrant and a little bit more intense. And I'm using a Sigma F70 brush, a concealer brush. Then I'm going to go into the Self-Made palette, and I'm taking Isla. I think this is Isla. It's a really pretty mint green eyeshadow, and I'm taking that on a Sigma E55 eyeshadow brush. It's my favorite eyeshadow brush from Sigma because it's really dense and it just helps to pack on the color, so it has its full potential to be very vibrant. And then I'm just going to go back in with those 2 blending brushes just to help blend those edges out, so that way it's not a very harsh and defined line. We want it to be defined, but not to the point where it just looks like sloppy and just kind of all over the place. So for eyeliner, I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills cream color in the shade Jet. It's a black jet black eyeliner, and I'm using that on a Sigma E06 wing liner brush, and I'm just going to start drawing my wing. And it doesn't have to be exactly perfect because we're going to go in and double wing it with a NYX crystal line. So this is a NYX crystal liner in the shade Crystal Gold, and I'm just applying that right over the top of where I applied that black line, so just directly right above where the black line is, and just continue to draw it out and apply as much glitter as you would like to intensify it and make it really intense. So then for lashes, I'm using my House of Lashes in the style Starlit, and I'm just placing those with my fingers right onto my lash band as close as possible because the black line that we put for our wing liner isn't very thick, so I need to place it as close as I can to my lashes so that way it blends in and looks the most natural. So for priming my face, I'm using my Tarte Clean Slate Poreless Primer Perfector type of thing. It's a silicone based primer, so it's going to make my foundation go on really smoothly and have the appearance of it looking flawless. And for foundation, I did go in and switch my Becca Ultimate Complexion Cream. I went in and got the shade Mink as opposed to Sandalwood. I had the shade Sandalwood and it was just too warm, so I went back and got Mink. It is a little bit dark for me right now, and it probably will be for the the winter months, but it's a little bit closer to my skin tone as opposed to Sandalwood, and it's not as warm. It seems like more of a neutral based foundation, but I love this foundation. It covers everything. So for concealer, I'm using my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NC45, and I'm just blending that out with my damp beauty blender. This is a purple beauty blender. They came out with it last year, and I'm just using that to blend underneath of my eyes and also down the bridge of my nose, pretty much everywhere where I concealed. As I mentioned, I like to highlight underneath of my eyes, and then I also like to balance out the highlight, so I do down the bridge of my nose, the center of my forehead, and my chin as well. Then I just go in and set all of that concealer with my Sacha Buttercup setting powder, and I'm going to slightly bake just because this look is a little bit more intense, so I'm just making sure I set all of those areas so they're as intense. And then I'm going in and contouring with my Nikki Garrett contouring palette in the shade Dark, and you can get this on Amazon for about 14 bucks. And I'm using a Real Techniques contouring brush, which you can also get from like anywhere, Walmart, CVS, Kmart, Target, everywhere. So I go in with a flat top powder brush from Coastal Scents, and I just brush away all the excess amount of powder, and then I go in and contour my nose once again with that same Nikki Garrett contouring palette, and I'm using a Sigma Buff and Blend E39 crease brush, and it's a really stiff, dense crease brush. And then for blush, I'm using a MAC Mineralized Blush in the shade Gleeful. It has a tinge of purple pinkish hue to it, so I just decided to put a little bit of that on my cheeks. And then for highlight, I went in with none other than Laura Geller's Gilded Honey. I mean, what did you guys really expect, you know? And I'm using a BH Cosmetics fan brush. I got this out of the purple brush set a couple of years ago, about 5 years ago now. I also do the tip of my nose, the bridge of my nose, and my Cupid's bow. Then I go right back in with that cream color and jet and just put that into my waterline. I put that into both waterlines because I'm going to smoke this out, and I'm going all the way from the inner corner to the outer corner. And then I just go back in with the Shadow Couture palette, the Shadow Couture palette, and I take Noir once again on the end of the brush that comes with these palettes. One is a fluffier side and one is more of like a pencil brush. So I take that on that side and just smoke that all out, and then I go back in with Fudge from the same palette on a E30 pencil brush from Sigma, and I just buff and blend that all out so it's more seamless. And for lips, I'm going to start by lining my lips with a lip liner, and I'm using Cork by MAC, which is just a brown lip liner. I find that for African American women, you sometimes need to use more of a brown / skin tone color for, lighter lipsticks. So that's what I'm doing, lightly lining my lips, and then I go in with this soft-spoken NYX Liquid Suede liquid lipstick, and it lasted quite a while, but not as long as I would have liked it to. So anyways, nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me a big fat thumbs up if you enjoyed. Also subscribe if you have not already so you won't miss out on any of my videos. I love you guys, and I will see you guys very soon. Mwah. Bye!